Biden supporters point to the Monmouth poll and note that it's a very small survey. 298 voters were surveyed, which gives it a very large margin of error. The Morning Consult political poll shows surveyed 5,000 registered voters, giving it a smaller margin of error. All right, joining me now is my political panel. Teisha Powell is a conservative political commentator, and Jeff Guillot is a Democratic strategist and a founding partner at Millennial Strategies. Good to have you both with us. Jeff, as our resident Democrat for the evening, let's ask you, do you think Biden is still the best pick?
I think that the Biden camp has to be a little worried after seeing the Monmouth poll. I understand you're looking at a relatively small sample size, but there is an indicator out there now that Joe Biden's support might have been a mile wide and an inch deep. And you're seeing an uprising among these more progressive candidates, Warren and Sanders both holding strong. Now, Biden will pivot back to the issue of electability, right? Every head-to-head poll between Biden and Trump indicates that Biden would beat Trump soundly and would beat Trump by a higher margin than Sanders or Kamala Harris or Bernie Sanders.
Right, but we have had so many Biden gaffes of late that it makes one question his electability. Teisha, there's so many that they actually get lost in the multitude. We'll play some of them for you now.
Sure.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it? The public option will be available in my plan. We'll make sure it's not equality. We'll make sure it's only affordable. You had over 40 kids shot in Kent State on a beautiful lawn by the National Guard.
Now, we know that there was 4 kids, unfortunately, shot in that accident, not 40. Biden says he chooses truth over facts. Well, he seems to get his facts confused all the time, including in which state he's in. Is this a big positive for the president?
It is a big positive for President Trump, and it's so wonderful that probably the 3 people that are going to go up against Trump might be Warren, Biden, or Sanders, because they've been in politics so long and they've been playing the same game, and we had enough of it. History will repeat itself. Biden has run before and he's lost, and he will lose again, even if he thinks he's electable. President Trump is doing a very good job. He's not growing the government. We're getting jobs. Our taxes are going down, and people are happy the way it is. So I think it's time for Biden to just sit aside.
From the Democratic Party, you look at these gaffes, and you have to wonder if they're really starting to build up in terms of electability. Are you concerned?
I think we're all going to collectively find out if there's need for concern after the September 12th debate, right? The process is playing itself out now, and I think the process the DNC set forth is a good one, where you now have a situation where some of these quixotic, vanity exercise campaigns are going to end. You have 10 viable candidates. They're going to have a conversation about the future of America, and if Joe Biden can't remember what state he's in or is unable to parse pronouns from adverbs, then he's going to have a real problem. And there are some great fresh faces that are part of this matrix that have yet to prove themselves and still have a chance. The great thing about the format is that a Cory Booker or a Pete Buttigieg still has a chance to be competitive, especially with Iowa as the first state.
Go ahead.
It just boils down to the top 3, Warren, Biden, and Sanders. It's going to come down to those 3 versus President Trump, and President Trump is going to win because President Trump is making the jobs come back to America.
I think you're sleeping seriously on Kamala Harris and a lot of these other good candidates.
Joe Walsh, he's trying to challenge the president. Is that anything to be considered, or just a complete struggle?
It's a complete joke. And this is the problem. Most people need to understand President Trump is doing a good job in America.
Look,
He's
Jeff,
created a job.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on this one, by the way.
Okay.
Trump polls in the 80s with Republican voters. I don't see this being a problem for him.
Now, Medicare has been a big issue, and we had Biden trying to defend the Obamacare legacy, making some very interesting comments about the quality of care that he thinks patients will get. Let's play that.
Public option will be available in my plan. We'll make sure it's not equality. We'll make sure it's only affordable.
The public option is not going to be quality, only affordable. I mean, that's exactly what everybody's concerned about, that government health care is not going to provide them with quality care. And there you have Biden confirming that fear.
Right, and I think this debate is going to be fundamentally come down to whether or not Medicare for all wins the day, or whether or not the idea of taking Obamacare and improving upon the existing system is going to be the idea that wins the day. The 2018 midterms were a great barometer for this. Medicare for all played amazingly well. It's one of the main reasons why the Democrats took back the House.
Here's the problem. The president isn't offering free stuff like most of the Democrats. People like free stuff, and you're getting that, and then some from all of the Democrats, including some like Yang offering universal basic income. Is that going to be a problem for President Trump?
No, because socialism doesn't work, you know, and it won't work in America because it works probably in Europe, and they're struggling. There are not a lot of illegal immigrants in Europe. So for socialism to work, and a lot of people don't understand this, everybody has to be working, and you can't have illegals in the country. This is why it works.
Just to be fair, none of these candidates are a socialist. And immigration is a serious problem in Europe.
Well, Jeff, some have even
like to talk about free
call
stuff.
themselves as socialist
Democratic
Democrats.
socialist.
Socialist Democrats pushing socialist policies. Democrats love semantics. All right, Jeff, thank you so much. Teisha,
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. I'm sure we will continue this debate and conversation as 2020 approaches. All right, turning away from politics.